When's the last time a politician kept a promise to you? When's the last time a politician kept a promise to you?
Don't know.
If you gotta look back in your memory and think about it, that's too long.
Yep. Right.
We're standing here at the five corners, at the corners of the corridor. The communities that have been disenfranchised, disrespected, paid no attention to, unrepresented, and unresponded to for too long. We stand here, and I stand in front of you this morning to say we have a chance to make a difference for our communities. And the chance that we have is to put Adam Haber in the seat in Mineola as the next county executive.
Yeah.
Now let me talk about Roosevelt, Freeport, and Uniondale and Lakeview just for a second. We have a choice on September 10th to let people know that our corridor counts. I'm not going to sit by and let us not be counted where we count. Each party has appointed terms, a term that I like to use, and I call them the Motisa tribe.
Okay.
Motisa. They're serving our community. They're not serving our community. They're just serving for their own survival. I shouldn't be afraid to get up here and speak to you thinking that they're going to cut my funding because I'm doing so.
All right, all right.
When did the roles reverse? When did they forget that they're supposed to serve us and us not serve them? So I'm here to tell you that we don't need any more of those naysayers who knock on doors and get positions. We need skilled labor, skilled people who are elected, that you elect Adam to be in those positions. We are tired of those people who are padding the pockets of our politicians. We see you. We see all the free concerts that you give. We see about the jobless job fairs you give. We see you, peekaboo, we see you. So I'm here to tell you that the corridor counts.
Corridor counts.
Yeah.
The corridor counts.
The corridor counts. The corridor counts. The corridor counts. The corridor counts. And the only reason that we stand here today is because we have been neglected. And when folks get fed up, and they get tired of being sick and tired, we're not going to take it anymore. And one of the things that we need to make sure is that we take care of our little ones. Because it's not about us. It's about the ones coming up. We got to give them a better Nassau County. And for Nassau County to be better, we got to turn this vote out like we never turned it out before. September 10th, let the numbers in the corridor stomp out the rest of the county of Nassau. Let's triple that numbers. Because if we triple that numbers, no matter who's in office, they got to come right here to ask for something. And when they come here, we command their respect.
That's right.
Speaking of commanding respect, here's a sister who's been in the battle for a long time. She stood up when others sat down. She stepped up when others stepped back. And what I want you to do right now is welcome her to the mic, Sister Razmia Zatar.
I'll start by fixing this. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
My name is Razmia Zatar, And although I'm a resident of Roslyn, my heart and my passion lie in the corridor. My mother and my brother live in the corridor, and the organization I run lives in the corridor. I'm the executive director of a youth organization focused on saving lives through the reduction of gangs and guns. We know all too well the destruction and the death in our communities as a result of these plagues, and we've decided that we want something different. Let me explain why we're here. We're here because we're tired of seeing the desperation in the eyes of our children. We're here because we no longer stand to see our failing schools turned into a pipeline to prison in the Nassau County correctional facilities and our state and federal facilities. We're tired of having elected officials coming into our community, courting our votes, but forgetting to come back and deliver on those promises. We're tired of foreclosed homes going up due to predatory lending and the quality of life in our communities continuing to decline.
That's right.
We're tired of elected officials running for office claiming to care about our issues, yet getting into office and doing absolutely nothing for our community. We're tired of living in our county where our interests are ignored and our lives do not matter. We're here because we need to send a clear message to the Nassau County legislator and all of those affiliated with the county government, whether in Mineola or the town of Hempstead. And that message is the corridor counts.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
We're here to send a message to all county employees, to all of those in the Working Family Party, to all of those in unions. We have longed for the day where people in our county are all treated fairly. We have longed for the day where individuals get promotions based on what they know and how hard they work at their jobs, instead of getting promotions based on walking petitions for the party, donating and fundraising for individuals who do not set foot in our communities or provide solutions for our neighborhoods. We have longed for the day where a Nassau County executive can put people first, regardless of party affiliation, above their own political interests or their party chair's political interests. We have longed for the day where a Nassau County executive can listen and work with our communities. An organization we work with has a motto, and it reads, "It takes a hood to save the hood." Today we take that mantra and make it our own. It takes the corridor to save the corridor. And one of the first steps in doing so is reminding the Democratic and Republican parties that the corridor counts. Adam Haber is that county executive. On September 10th, we'll make sure we get him one step closer to becoming county executive, the county executive we've been longing for. Remember, the time is now. Let's make sure we let the world know the corridor counts.
Corridor counts! The corridor counts! The corridor counts! The corridor counts! The corridor counts!
TCC. TCC. The corridor counts. That's shorthand. So when we talk to our young people, let them take that on and put it on as a mantle. Let them say to everybody, I'm from Roosevelt and TCC. I'm from Freeport, TCC. I'm from Hempstead, where they just had 9 shootings over the past month or so. TCC. If we don't wear it, it won't get worn. If we don't wear it, it won't be told. And if we don't see it, it won't grow.
That's right.
Look around you right now. We see black people and brown people, white people, folks from different communities standing shoulder to shoulder, understanding that we're in this thing together.
Right.
That's why Sergio Aguirre, my brother, and I got together on a telephone call and said, we can't stand on the sideline anymore. We can't stand and let somebody sneak into the county executive office and not deliver. We decided to step into the water, neck deep, so that we can try and make something happen. I'm asking every one of you to join me and the next speaker, Sergio Aguirre, to get neck deep in the water.
All right.
Get this deep in the water so that we can make a difference. Are you with me?
Yeah.
Are you with me?
Yeah.
Bring Sergio Aguirre on. Sergio, where are you, brother?
Whoa.
Buenos días.
Buenos días.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Comunidad, community. You have no idea how important this election is. You have no idea how important the times that we are living in here today are. You see, when we open those history books and you read that 50 years ago, in a place called Washington, D.C., a young reverend stood up in front of millions and said he had a dream. Él tenía un sueño, dijo el hombre. Él dijo que una vez todos los hijos de Dios iban a tener una misma oportunidad. He said all of God's children would have the same opportunities. That's what he said in front of millions. But that dream still hasn't come to fruition. You see, I wonder if he can speak to us now what that great man would say. Would he talk about the corridor and the inequities and inequality that still exist? Would he talk about the segregated school system in modern-day Nassau County that still exists?
Yes,
would he talk about mass incarceration and the miseducation of our youth?
Yeah.
Would he talk about these banks that came in and robbed this community more than any? Abusing us with foreclosures?
That's
Would he
right.
talk about elected officials in both parties? Republicans and Democrats, we call them.
Yeah.
Republicans and Democrats, we call them because they're out to get each other, not caring about the collateral damage, not caring about Roosevelt, not caring about Uniondale, Hempstead, Roosevelt, Freeport, Lakeview, Newcastle, Westbury. You see these names roll off of our tongue because we've been burying kids there for years.
That's right.
Those names roll off of our tongues because we've been incarcerating those youth for years, because we've been impoverishing these communities for years. But today there's an answer. Today there's an answer to that mantra. Today we get one step closer to making that dream a reality. That dream will only become a reality if you stand up. That dream will only become a reality if you support a man that will fight alongside of us, not in front of us, because this isn't his. Not behind us like so many of our elected officials that look like us do. They fight from behind us. They fight from behind us. This man will fight alongside of us because he's already stood there for us. When we couldn't get people to support us, he stood with us. He has walked our communities more than any other elected official. More than any other elected official. He has sat in those churches not once, not twice, but 3 times and 4 times? 4 times in one church? He's looking for God. He's going to find God. He found God. He's a man of God. God found him to run for us. God found him to bring him here so that he can talk about equality, so that he can eliminate a culture where pay-to-play politics, where individuals who run for office are selected not based on qualifications, but on how many doors they knock and how many fundraisers they have for a chairman in a party that don't care about us. And by that I'm talking by the ones that wear the big D on their chest. You see, we're lifelong Democrats. We're lifelong Democrats. We are Democrats. That's who we are. He is one of us. He is us. Adam isn't fundraising for office not because, he can't call on a couple of people to write checks. But he made it very clear. He's not using anybody else's money. He's using his own, not to put that money where his mouth is, but to put that money where his heart is. Where his heart is. His heart is right here. This man, when nobody knew him before he thought about running for office, was out in Haiti helping rebuild after an earthquake. Not because there were cameras, because guess what? You can't find a picture of that. He was out in Long Beach rolling up his sleeves while my family was digging out. He was helping families dig out. You can't find pictures of that. It's not in his literature because that's not what he's running on. He's running on his principles, on who he is. I'm going to tell you something. The individual running for office hasn't stepped foot in our community since the first time he got elected. The individual running against this honorable man is extremely dishonorable in that he started positioning himself for the next office instead of thinking about what he had at hand. And in there, he kept his eye off the ball, and our communities got worse. The individual that is running for office is the antithesis of what that party and what that individual stands for. This is the most important election. Please welcome the next, mark my words, please welcome the next county executive of this corridor, Mr. Adam Haber. I want to hear it. That's not loud enough. That's not loud enough.
Wow, huh?
Come on now!
Counts, doesn't it? I gotta tell you, you write speeches and you sometimes just gotta throw them out the window, but I'm overwhelmed by the support. That's the least of our issues, believe me. Thank you all for coming here today. Thank you for taking time on a beautiful Saturday where you could be home doing other things. Thank you for coming and enjoying our presence. I am here. I'm grateful. My name is Adam Haber. I am running to be your next Nassau County Executive. I really enjoyed hearing the previous speakers, and one of the things that really stuck out, one of your issues is hire people from the corridor and respect them. Like, that should be an issue. I mean, that, to me, that seems like breathing and seems like drinking water to survive. I don't get why that is an issue. I mean, the people should be represented by their communities, plain and simple, the best and the brightest. They should look like you, and that's how my whole coalition will look like. Someone from Hempstead should look like someone from Hempstead, have the cares, the concerns, they should live there. They should be a community leader, and that's why Sergio, Fred, the pastors, everybody else, just that they're supporting me. This is what community is about. I'm grateful, and I'm here to be a tireless leader. I hope to exceed your expectations. But I just want to tell you, I'm here most importantly because the corridor counts. Can you say that to me like you need air to breathe or water to survive? The corridor counts. The corridor counts.
The corridor counts! The corridor counts! The corridor counts! The corridor counts! The corridor counts!
I will say over and over again, I hope to exceed your expectations. Not only because what you've gotten is so little and you don't expect much, but because I set my goals and my desires very high. I'm doing this, like was said before, not because I need the party, I don't need their money. I'm making an investment in my community, because one day we'll all be dust, and the money I put in is an investment in the heart, the soul of Nassau County. When that thrives, we all thrive. It was only a few years ago that I got involved in politics, and they mentioned before that I'm involved with a charity called All Hands Volunteers, and I've been to Haiti, and I've been to Long Beach, I've been to Mississippi and Iowa with my family way long before the photo ops, and look at me, look what I'm doing was important. I did it because that's how I wanted my children to see we should lead a future, and I wanted to model by example. I didn't get involved politically until our sticky-fingered superintendent Rosalind walked away with $11.2 million. We talked about our future and our children. He robbed our children. I mean, the adults can make more money, but the community was destroyed. It was torn from the inside out. And my wife, who's a teacher, said to me, you're running for school board because you know the business of education, you can help. And lo and behold, I did. I jumped in, I helped turn that around, and now we're thriving, and that's my goal for our community. That's my goal for the corridor. There's a stark difference, between Rosalind and the corridor. In Rosalind, we were doing it to ourselves. Our superintendent embezzled money and ruined our community. But here in the corridor, it's the county. It's Mineola. It's greedy politicians that are hurting the corridor.
Yes, sir.
That's what's going on. No one comes here. They only come and knock on your doors. I will be here before, during, and after. I'll come. I'll bring the bagels. I wish I could preach, because a pastor, I have gone to a lot of church. I'll tell you that right now. I've grown quite fond of Baptist music and church music, and that is something I will come back for again and again. And one of my, this is off message a little bit, but one of my big ideas is we're going to look to a community and see and see where we can leverage the best of what they have and make that into a financial asset so it goes back to the community. So the county executive has the right to use the Coliseum for 10 days a year. Now I was thinking, this is a little crazy, but I dream big. An American Idol type competition with the best of the Baptist communities and the church communities. Your gospel competition, sell tickets at the Coliseum, get sponsors. I got a friend in the music business. Sell the CDs, praise God, and all that money goes back. Every single penny I'll put in the hands of the folks behind me so they know where it goes the right way. That's investing in creating something where there was nothing before. So that's one of many ideas I have. But the corridor deserves better than politicians kicking communities around because they think they know what best. Only the corridor knows what the corridor needs. And I will always listen to you. The heart of the county is here. I will come back again and again. I know that everybody here will hold my feet to the fire, and it will be a pleasure to come. Van has been going with me door to door. He's been working hard. He's a little stronger than I am, so I know he can wrestle me down here if I'm not living up to my word, but I plan on exceeding your expectations. Sadly, what's happened here? Politicians have used politics and destroyed our future. This is wrong. This is wrong for your children. This is wrong for our families and wrong for the corridor and the community. A child should never suffer because they can't get along in Mineola and solve problems here. Their failure with after-school programs means children won't have a place to go. And a single mom won't have a place to put her child, and the cycle of poverty continues. Their failure means a mother or a father who's trying to get help won't get the substance abuse treatment they need. Their failure means a kid who should be at a recreation center is out instead on the streets trying to act tough and getting in trouble. Their failure means a loved one ends up in jail instead of getting the help they deserve. Let me make this clear. I'm running because Swazi failed and Mangano failed. World War I and World War II took 7 years, all right? Swazi had 8 years. He failed. Mangano had 4 years. He failed. Both were a disaster for the corridor. This must change. It has to change. My administration will always govern properly in the corridor because I'm fully aware of the support here today, the desire, and the awareness that the corridor counts. I will be with you 100% of the time, not just in an election year, not just for the photo op. When something happens that nobody knows about, I'll be the first guy down here. Without hitting lights, I can get here in 8 minutes. Now, don't tell the police that because it really should take about 11 minutes, but I'll make sure I get here in 8 minutes because the corridor counts. Together, we will make the corridor a better place. We should judge our success not by those in Mineola and how they're getting along, but how they're padding their campaign accounts, which I am not doing, and how they're plotting to get reelected. But we should judge our success by the least among us. And there is no way to know how things are really going unless our leaders are really with the people. We can do better. We must do better. And I ask you, how's it going in Lakeview?
Not good.
Not good. How's it going in Hempstead?
Not good.
How's it going in Roosevelt?
Not good.
How's it going in Uniondale?
Not good.
How's it going in Freeport?
Not good.
How's it going in Newcastle?
Not good.
It's not acceptable. It is not acceptable.
That's right.
It can be better. It should be better. The Nassau County corridor deserves better. Look, I'm not from the corridor. I'm going to be plain, very honest. This is where I will come. This is where my heart lives. I didn't grow up with a silver spoon in my mouth. I know what hard work is all about. I am here to earn your trust and support. I will be here again and again and again. When Mangano cut youth services, all that funding, when the police precincts were combined in the names of saving money but not in safety, when your neighborhoods got redistricted away because Swazi was too lazy to come out and work and win the Democratic election because he had his eyes on being governor or president, I stood with you. We brought the fight to Mangano to bring back social services. When I'm elected, people say, what's the first thing you're going to do? That red light money is going back to where it belongs, and you throw away the key. You throw away the key because pennies. The budget is $2.8 billion. The $7 or $8 million that the money represents for youth and social services is a fraction of 1%, yet that's all that people fight about in the legislature. They waste more money on interest payments on bad financial decisions. It's penny investment for dollars and hundreds of dollars of returns, investing in our future. I'm not like the other guys. I'm not for sale. I'll make it plain. I went to meet with the leadership. We'll give you a job here. You can run here. If you do this, if you run, you'll never get a job in the Democratic Party. I said, great. I don't need a job. All right. I'm not doing this because I'm looking for a career. I'm not doing this because I'm looking, to be in with a group of guys and further my political ambitions. I'm doing this because I love where I live. 20 years I live here. Nothing gets built. Companies leave. Middle class gets squeezed. Nothing gets done. It's an atmosphere of failure that people have just gotten used to, and their expectations are extremely low. Not acceptable. Not acceptable. I'm in this race because I want to make my community better. I'm in this because the culture of corruption and patronage must end. It has to end for our children's sake. I'm in this because I care about every single one of you. I care about this community. This corridor is the heart of Nassau County. It's where tight-knit families come together in tough times. It's where communities of faith come together in times of rejoicing and in times of sorrow. It's where we should define how we are and what we're doing as a county and a society. I'm here with our community leaders, and thank you all for your support and sticking your neck out and coming out and getting behind me. I'm here because I care. I'm here because I want to make this place better. So in closing, together, we can get this done. We can make this place better through change. We can make it better. Keep repeating, we can make it better. We can make it better.
Yes.
We can create the corridor we deserve because everybody together with me, like we're in church, the corridor counts. Thank you very much. The corridor counts. The corridor. We gotta get it started all over again. That guy liked this function. On the count of 3, we're gonna do it 3 times. Each one getting louder. Okay? 1, 2, 3. The corridor counts. The corridor counts. The corridor counts. Thank you very much.
Red, white, and blue.
Hey, Sergio!
What up, Fred?
I think that it's time for us to get down to business. What you say?
What's business, Fred?
Business means that we got to get out on the street. We got to get from the suites to the streets.
From the suites to the streets.
Get down on the ground
Down on the ground.
and make it so we don't frown.
Why?
Because the corridor counts.
The corridor counts.
The corridor counts.
El pueblo cuenta.
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 And right now, it's up to us to make it happen.
Now let me tell you, Fred.
Come on.
These people, these Democrats, have been sending me literature.
Who?
The Democrats.
What?
They're sending me literature.
Saying what, brother?
And they're not even talking about September.
Come on.
They're not even talking about a September 10th date.
What are they talking about?
They're talking about November.
No what?
November.
No what?
That boy didn't learn a lesson the first time.
He neglected us the first time. Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, shame on you.
Now listen, I'm gonna take that one step further.
Come on, baby.
Forget fool you, fool me.
No.
Mama ain't raised no fool, right, Ma? Ma, no soy bobo, ¿verdad? No, I'm no dummy. I'm no dummy. You no dummy.
No, sir.
They try and say things like this man ain't a Democrat.
This man?
The man that's been walking in our neighborhoods ain't a Democrat.
You mean the same people that recruited Carolyn McCarthy from the Republican Party to be the congresswoman?
I believe it's that same party.
You mean the same party that doesn't know whether or not they're Dixiecrats or Democrats or Democrats, whatever? Is that who you talking about?
I believe that's the same party.
They need to come with it.
Bring it.
Bring it
Because we're taking it from the suites.
to the streets.
From the suites.
To the streets.
From the suites.
To the streets.
You know what else they say, brother?
What they say, man?
They say black and brown don't mix.
Say what?
They say black and brown don't mix.
Say what?
They say black and brown don't mix.
It's perfect.
Yo, let me tell you
It's
something.
perfect. It's perfect.
Let me tell tell you something. Let me tell you something. You talking about the most segregated county. They're saying that we don't love our community.
Oh, you know we love our
Are
community.
you kidding me? Who doesn't love our community? Who doesn't care about our community? Is it us? Is it those of us that have been at the forefront of every battle? Is it those of us that stand up and say no more in our community?
No, it's the ones that sit over there in Mineola and line their pockets and steal from our children. That's who it is.
You see, fact of the matter is, things are going to change. All we need is 10,000 votes.
10,000, man, out of 47,000. We could do that in a minute.
You see, I see Antonio Kelly and Sean from Real-Tyme here. You think we could get the word on that Facebook and on the internet and get this brother blasted all over the place?
Yeah, and I see Doug Thomas out there and Pat Williams. They can pass the word around too.
Yo, where's that? I saw the Community Journal around here somewhere. I saw El Diario. I saw my Haitian people are here too in full force.
And you know that. And I see the pastors out here. Where are all the pastors? Raise your hands. Pastors, raise your hands. Tell it from the rooftops and tell it from the pulpit.
You know who else we got? I think we got law enforcement on here.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about. We got educators.
We got teachers. We got professors. We got community activists.
Where's the businessmen at? Where's the businessmen at?
This whole strip, we got this. We got this. Fact of the matter is, people, we got an opportunity here to reshake things. You see, there's this man, his name is Jay Jacobs.
Who?
Some guy named Jay Jacobs.
Who?
You know they try and redistrict us and get us out the way? They couldn't do nothing on their own. You know who they came looking for?
Who?
Frederick K. Brewington. You see, this is our legal scholar. He is our Thurgood Marshall. This is the brother that's going to lead us to the promised land.
If you do wrong, Democrat or Republican, we coming for you. And Adam Haber, the man that stands right here, he understands that. But the good thing about Adam Haber is he knows right from wrong. At 2 o'clock in the morning, when he's looking for answers, he's not going to be looking into somebody else's pocketbook. He's going to be looking up, and he's going to get his answers because it's easy to know what's right or wrong. And this man knows.
Let me tell you something. There's 100 people here right now. We've counted 100 people. We've taken 100 names. We've walked down this street. We got 100 people here today. If 100 of you get on that phone and you start calling your friends, your families, you start Facebook posting, you start Twitterizing. Yeah, I made that up. Twitterizing, right? If you start making this man the image on your profile pic, I guarantee you the machine can't handle us. The machine can't handle us. The machine cannot handle us because guess what? From the suites
to the streets. From the suites to the streets.
The corridor counts.
Yes, it does.
From the suites
to the streets. The corridor counts. From the suites to the streets. The corridor counts. From the suites.
The corridor counts. We got Brian Jones, a longtime community activist. Many of you may know him from There's Only One Hempstead. He's out there, grassroots, struggling, fighting hard for our community. Brian, how are you, brother?
I'm good, brother.
What brings you out today, my man?
That the corridor counts. And we don't want more, we just want what we're entitled to. No more, no less. One slice of the pie, not 2 slices. I think that our young people, our education, I think our infrastructures, our businesses, everything should actually be afforded the same opportunities as everyone else. That's it. Just vote for Adam Haber. I think it's a fresh new start. I think he has fresh ideas. I think it's somebody that actually cares for the concerns and the issues that are plaguing our communities. Our communities are in dire strait and dire need for change. And this brother here, not to say that he may not change after a while, but right now he's coming in with fresh ideas, with no handouts, no nothing. We support this man. Please stand behind him and support Adam Haber. Thank you.
Thank you, Brian. Good afternoon. This is Serge back at you for Community Access TV. I'm standing with individuals that are doing something, standing up, saying enough is enough in our communities. This is Pablo Sinclair, a brother from Newcastle, Westbury, trying to make change, trying to make impact. He tried to actually go out there and do something, but unfortunately, machine politics stands in the way of letting the most qualified run for office. If you're not a part of that machine, you don't get an opportunity. Brother Sinclair, what brings you out here today?
Hey, listen, the corridor counts. I want Adam Haber to win, and enough is enough. I don't get the sense that folks want to go back to the Swazi years. He had his run, he had his chance. Now it's for somebody new, somebody fresh. And from a personal perspective, I know what it's like to go against the machine. So I'm throwing all my support behind Adam. Whatever I can do, I'm going to do.
Pablo, when you think about your community, Newcastle, a community where, you know, it's suffering, it's struggling, what are your thoughts? What is it that the last 12 years, right? Because, you know, I mean Mangano's been atrocious in the last 4 years, definitely. But the 8 years before that weren't sweet for our communities either. What did you see happen in your community from 2001 to 2009?
Well, from back then, the crime, the poverty has been stagnant. It's been the same, right? We need more jobs. Like I told Triano and all the politicians that come through, take us for granted, get our votes, right? Saying they're one of us. Nothing has done. In Newcastle specifically, they have did some revitalization, built some homes, but the folks can't afford to live there. We need jobs. Give folks jobs, empower them, then we can lift up the community. Right now in Newcastle, if you go down Prospect Avenue, a lot of the revitalization is dilapidated, they're abandoned, boarded up. It looks like crapola.
I hear you, brother. What's one of the things that you think needs to happen so that the corridor could really start counting? What we're talking about here is bringing African American Latino interests together, understanding that we're one people. What do you think will happen if we get 10,000 people from the corridor to go out and vote on primary day? What do you think we'll do to machine politics in Nassau County?
Listen, it'll blow it wide open. If the African Americans and the brown brothers and sisters come out together, we can definitely do it. All Adam has to do is split the white vote, get the African American vote from the corridor. He's going to be in, because there's no love for Swazi from the African American community and the Latino community, as far as I know and I hear on the streets.
Listen, the streets talk. We are the streets. We're taking this election from the suites of Mignogna, from the suites of the North Shore, where Jay Jacobs and company gets to say who runs in our community, and we're taking them to the streets of our community, because we matter. Thanks a lot, Pablo. Peace, brother.
Yes, sir.
Once again, Community Action TV, we're standing here with one of the grassroots organizers that came out the woodworks in the last couple of years, fighting hard for our communities, doing what she stands for. Let her introduce herself.
Hi, my name is Madeline McCullough, aka Blue. I represent I Am Terrace Ave Incorporated, and I'm here because the corridor counts for Adam Haber. Let's go.
What does that mean? What does that mean to you when we say the corridor counts? You one of those that jumped on Facebook, started posting away. What does it mean, the corridor counts, support Adam Haber?
The corridor counts to me is all of our communities coming together to support somebody who's actually for the people. This is why I'm voting for him, and I ask everybody to come out and vote for Adam Haber as well.
Sure, my name is Fred Brewington. I'm a civil rights attorney, and I'm here to just make sure people in our communities know that Adam Haber is our best last chance to try and make a difference. Over the past 12 years, we've been robbed by the Republicans and robbed by the Democrats. It's time for us to put an honest man in Nassau County government who can turn things around. Our children have had youth services smashed and slashed, and we can't stand for it anymore. I've been going to too many wakes and funerals, and our young people have to be made to be our prize and not our fodder. That's what they made us into, and that's not acceptable.
All right, that's very good. I believe that 100%.
And just one other thing, we need somebody who's smart. Adam Haber is not a politician. He's a smart man.
A businessman.
He's a businessman, and he's a smart man. He already has plans that when we take brothers that are coming out of the Nassau County correctional facility, there should be an incubator where they're getting trained before they come out. Absolutely. So they can go right to jobs.
Right. Well, actually, we're setting that up with a career and job opportunity with Reverend Benjamin, and actually I met him with
Reverend Benjamin's in the middle of it, but one of the things is you got all these politicians that talk the talk but don't walk the walk.
Absolutely.
Adam Haber's a man who could fill my shoes, and I'd be happy with it because he'll walk the walk.
All right.
All right.
Terrific. Very good.
All right.
Beautiful. All right. Good.